Hey guys, we are going to be discussing the growth of political parties in the 1850s. There were some parties that were growing, some were dying out, and some that were holding. So we're going to talk about this with a kind of poker theme. Reminds me of that Kenny Rogers song. It goes, "You got to know when to hold 'em, when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, when to fold 'em." You ever heard that one? No? Okay, well, it's worth a shot. Big hit the 70s. Yeah, big 70s hit. Won't be the last time you have no idea what I'm talking about. The presentation we're about to go over goes with this handout. It says Political Party Poker of the 1850s. Okay? So, while I get my PowerPoint up here, I want to let you know that I have high hopes that this is going to be a short and sweet presentation. I'm hoping maybe 7 minutes. Oh, sorry for the bouncing. Don't mean to make you sick. A little bit of turbulence there. Okay. Remind me from now on to have the handout physically in my hand so we don't have to play these games. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay? So, straight to the PowerPoint. So, the idea behind this is political fragmentation in the 1850s. Some parties are growing, some parties are dying, some parties are holding. Okay? So, the parties that are folding, which means it just wasn't in the cards, they're leaving the table, include the Whig Party. If you remember, the Whig Party was formed as kind of an anti-Andrew Jackson party in the 1830s, and they're going to split over slavery. You're going to get the conscience Whigs. The idea is they have a conscience because they're upset about slavery. They oppose slavery. They support abolition and preventing the expansion of slavery to the territories. They're going to, when they die out, the conscience Whigs are going to join the Republican Party, which is a party that's up and coming, we'll talk about. The Cotton Whigs are in favor of slavery. They are mainly Southerners, and they're going to join the Southern Democrats. Okay, let me give you a second just to make sure you got that. So our last Whig president was Zachary Taylor. He was elected in 1848. The Whig Party is going to divide over the Fugitive Slave Act, the Compromise of 1850, and the Kansas-Nebraska Act. So each of those subsequent debates or issues eventually led them to feud each other and fall apart. So they're going to fold or die out. Okay, so goodbye, Whig Party. It's good knowing you. Holding is the Democratic Party, which was founded by Andrew Jackson, if you recall. But they're going to kind of split, but not formally or officially. The Northern Democrats are going to be urban workers and new immigrants, so their focuses are mainly on the cities and issues related to workers' rights. And they oppose nativism, which means the people who are against immigrants, they don't like them because a lot of them are immigrants. Okay. Many of them later will become Republicans if they drift away from the Democratic Party. The Southern Democrats, on the other hand, are farmers, and they're both small farmers and plantation owners. And so what we get is a national party that has two kind of regional subsets that are very different from each other. The Northern Democrats being mainly urban and immigrant, and the Southern Democrats being mainly agricultural and pro-slavery. You can see here that this graphic shows you how, while there was one Democratic Party, it was kind of split between North and South. And so they hold on or survive in this time period. All right, new political parties are also coming about during this time period. We have the Republican Party that is founded in 1854. They're an umbrella party, which means that they took in a lot of people for different reasons, but they all agreed on one thing. The thing they agreed on was prohibiting slavery in the territories. They all agreed that they did not want to see slavery spread. So they're going to include people like the Free Soilers, we'll talk more about them in just a minute, the anti-slavery Whigs, and the Democrats, who were mainly Northern Democrats against slavery, the Nativists, we'll talk more about them, and the reform and expansion groups, including abolitionists who are opposed to slavery, temperance, and the women's movement. Okay, remember, temperance is anti-alcohol movement. Okay, so they're a pretty diverse and kind of broad spectrum party. They're regionally tied to the North and the West. Abraham Lincoln is going to be a Republican, the first Republican president elected, and so he is from the West, Illinois. So there's very few people in the South who are going to vote for the Republican Party. because they believe that there should be no expansion of slavery into the territories. All right, next we get the Know-Nothing Party. The Know-Nothing Party believes in nativism. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what nativism is. Nativism focuses on how people don't like immigrants. So let's talk about why they might not like immigrants. Immigrants, when they come into the country, they typically are poor and needy, and they're willing to work for lower wages. And so as a result, they drive wages down, and that makes working conditions and wages lower for everyone, and also causes intense job competition. So as a result, a lot of people don't want any more immigrants coming into the country. Also, these new immigrants tend to be Catholic, and they tend to be from Ireland, the Irish Catholics, and they don't like Catholicism. A lot of people in America during this time period are Protestant. Sorry about that. And today, Protestants and Catholics get along just fine. But back then, there's a lot of tension between them. And a lot of Protestants had this conspiracy theory that if Catholics got control of governmental levels of government, whether it be local, state, or national, that they would turn over the government to the Pope. Also, they tended not to want their kids. The Catholics tended to not put their kids in the public schools, but in parochial schools, Catholic-run schools, and that made people suspicious about why their kids didn't go to school with the other kids. So there's lots of reasons for anti-immigrant feeling during this time period, and all those played into the Know-Nothing Party. Okay. So their members are mostly middle-class Protestants, anti-immigrants, anti-Catholic. They resent job competition, and they're a party of the North because there aren't a lot of immigrants that are coming into the South. Okay. Next, we get the Free Soil Party that comes about during this time period. With a party with the name "free" in it, you might assume that they are very much abolitionists, but they are not. They are not abolitionists. They just don't want to see slavery spread into the territories. The reason is that their number one goal is to prevent labor competition from slave labor. Up to this point, slaves have not been used in factories or other types of manufacturing. They've only been used for farming. But the Free Soil Party is afraid that if slavery comes north of the 3630 line into the Kansas-Nebraska territory, that they'll start bringing slaves into other types of manufacturing. So basically, the Free Soilers are racists who didn't want to see blacks in their communities, live near them, or work next to them. And they're mainly a Western party because they are people afraid about slavery spreading to the northern territories, Kansas and Nebraska, where cotton cannot be grown. So what would the slaves be doing? They might be involved in other types of production. So, what three political parties emerged? Say it loud, say it proud. The Republicans, the Know-Nothings, and the Free Soilers. Keep in mind that the Whig Party dies out, and the Northern and Southern Democrats remain part of a united Democratic Party. But the Democratic Party is not fully united under one umbrella, but more kind of two pieces of one piece of the puzzle. Okay? 9 minutes? I tried. See you later. Bye.